Gentlemen, look down, right now. If you are wearing a heavy wool overcoat with a pair of neon mesh running shoes, you have disqualified yourself. You don't look sporty, you look confused. This is the sneaker epidemic, and for the man over 50, it is the fastest way to destroy your authority. A heavy winter coat requires a heavy foundation. Without it, you look top-heavy, like a lollipop on a stick. Today, we fix the foundation. We are trading the wet foam soles for sturdy leather and rubber. We are discussing the Winter Boot Trinity, the only 3 styles you need to walk through winter with stature, power, and dry feet. Let's get grounded. The criteria. Before we look at specific styles, we must establish the rules of engagement. If you buy the wrong construction, even the most beautiful boot becomes a liability. Rule number 1. The sole. In summer, a sleek leather sole is the height of elegance. In winter, it is a death trap. Leather on snow is like walking on ice skates. You do not want to be the well-dressed man who slips and breaks his hip on the sidewalk. You need traction. Look for a day-night sole. It is a British invention, a rubber sole with studded grips that is thin enough to look formal but provides the grip of a tire. Rule number 2. The velt. Avoid cemented, glued boots. Winter slush eats glue for breakfast. You want Goodyear welted. This means the upper and sole are stitched together. It creates a waterproof seal and allows the boot to be resoled in 10 years. A Goodyear welt is an investment. A glued boot is a rental. Rule number 3. The material. Full-grain leather is your standard armor. It wipes clean and takes a shine easily. However, do not fear suede. Many men think suede is fragile. False. A quality suede boot, treated with a hydrophobic spray, is actually more resilient against salt stains and scuffs than smooth leather. It adds rich texture and visual warmth to your look. Essential 1. The Chelsea boot. We begin with the first pillar of the Trinity, the Chelsea boot. I call this the urban legend. Why? Because it has survived everything from Victorian royalty to 1960s rock and roll, and it remains the sharpest footwear a man can own. For the man over 50, the Chelsea boot is not just a style choice. It is a tactical upgrade for your quality of life. Let's be honest about the realities of getting older. Bending over to tie intricate laces every time you enter or leave a house can be tiresome. It lacks dignity. The defining feature of the Chelsea boot is its lack of laces. It uses an elastic side panel and a pull tab. You slide in, you slide out. It is effortless. It respects your time and your back. But do not mistake this convenience for laziness. The absence of laces creates a clean, unbroken line of leather from your toe to your ankle. This is aerodynamic. It makes your foot look smaller and more streamlined, which visually elongates your leg. The criteria for perfection. To execute the urban legend look, you must follow strict rules. The toe shape. This is non-negotiable. You want an almond toe. It is rounded but slightly tapered. If the toe is square, you look like you are wearing a box. If it is too pointy, you look like an elf. The almond shape is timeless and masculine. The height. The boot needs to sit above your ankle bone. This ensures that when you sit down and your trouser leg rises, you are not flashing your pale winter skin or your gym socks. It maintains the illusion of a continuous line. The color. Your first pair must be black box calf leather. This is the city option. It is the only boot that can legally replace your dress shoes with a suit. How to style it? The sharpshooter. This boot is your weapon for the smart casual and formal battlegrounds. With a suit. Yes, you can wear boots with a suit. A sleek black Chelsea boot looks cleaner than a brogue because there is no visual clutter. It sits perfectly under the hem of your charcoal or navy suit trousers. You look like a modern architect or a gallery owner. With jeans. This is where you look dangerous, in a good way. Pair black Chelsea boots with dark gray or black jeans. Crucial. The jeans must be tapered or straight leg. If you wear wide, boot-cut jeans that swallow the shoe, you look like a cowboy who lost his horse. The hem of the jeans should just kiss the top of the boot, allowing the leather to shine. A critical warning. Do not confuse the urban legend with the work boot. There are many Chelsea-style boots that are chunky, bulbous, and have heavy tracking soles, like Blundstones. Those are for gardening or construction sites. They are fantastic for their purpose, but they are not this boot. We are looking for a slim profile, a thin rubber sole, day-night, and polished leather. We are aiming for elegance, not utility. When you walk into a room wearing these, you don't clomp, you glide. Essential 2. The dress wingtip boot. If the Chelsea boot is a scalpel, sleek, minimal, and precise, then our next essential is a broadsword. It is detailed, robust, and steeped in history. We call this the gentleman's armor, or technically, the wingtip brogue boot. While the Chelsea is defined by what it lacks, laces, the wingtip is defined by what it possesses, character. You will recognize this boot by the decorative perforations, called broguing, that run along the seams, and the distinctive W, or wing, shape on the toe cap. Historically, these holes were functional. They allowed water to drain out when Scottish gamekeepers walked through boggy marshes. Today, they serve a purely aesthetic purpose, and for the man over 50, that purpose is visual weight. Why you need it? Winter style is a game of textures. You are wearing heavy wool flannel trousers, thick corduroys, and tweed jackets. If you pair these heavy textured fabrics with a sneaker or a flimsy dress shoe, your feet look weak. They disappear. The intricate detailing of the wingtip boot provides the necessary visual weight to anchor your lower half. It looks substantial. It looks like it can handle the mud, the cobblestones, and the cold, while still looking aristocratic. It signals that you appreciate craftsmanship and complexity. The specifications. The color. Unlike the Chelsea, which shines in black, the wingtip boot is at its most powerful in dark brown, oxblood, burgundy, or tan. Why? Because dark colors hide the beautiful brogue detailing. A rich walnut or chocolate leather allows the shadows in the perforations to pop, highlighting the artistry of the shoe. Brown also harmonizes better with the country color palette: olive greens, navies, and earthy browns. The lacing system. I know what you are thinking. You just told me laces are a pain. Here is the secret. Look for boots with speed hooks at the top 3 eyelets. These are open metal hooks rather than closed holes. They allow you to lace up the boot in literally 5 seconds. You pull, wrap, and tie. It gives you the support of a lace-up boot with the speed of a slip-on. How to style it. The heritage look. This boot screams old money estate. The professor look. Pair brown wingtip boots with heavy corduroy trousers in navy or olive, and a thick roll-neck sweater. The texture of the corduroy and the broguing on the boot complement each other perfectly. It creates a look of intellectual depth. The weekend city look. Wear them with dark indigo denim jeans. Cuff the jeans, roll them up about an inch. You want to show off the shaft of the boot and the detailing. This is a rugged, masculine look that says you are ready for a long walk or a pub lunch. The chino upgrade. If you wear chinos, khakis, ditch the boat shoes. A wingtip boot elevates a simple pair of chinos from IT guy to creative director. A note on soles. For this specific boot, a storm welt is a fantastic detail to look for. It is a slightly wider rim where the leather meets the sole, designed to prevent water from seeping into the insole. It adds a millimeter of width to the boot's silhouette, making it look even more grounded and powerful. This is the boot that tells the world you are standing firm, no matter the weather. Essential 3. The service boot. Finally, we arrive at the heavy artillery of the Trinity. If the Chelsea is a scalpel and the wingtip is a broadsword, then the service boot is the tank. I call this the workhorse, or the rugged icon. This boot traces its lineage directly back to the standard issue military footwear of World War II, and the boots worn by ironworkers who built the skyscrapers of New York. It is not designed to be pretty. It is designed to survive. For the man over 50, owning a pair of service boots is a declaration that you are not fragile. You are not afraid to get your hands or your feet dirty. While the previous two boots were about elegance and refinement, this boot is about resilience. The anatomy of a tank. How do you identify a proper service boot? The cap toe. Most heritage service boots feature a cap toe, an extra layer of leather stitched over the toe box. Originally, this was to protect soldiers' toes from dropping crates of ammunition. Today, it adds a distinct, vintage, masculine aesthetic that breaks up the length of the boot. The leather, Horween Chrome Excel. This is crucial. You do not want delicate, high-shine calfskin here. You want thick, oil-tanned leather, often referred to as pull-up leather. Why? Because this leather is self-healing. When you scratch a dress shoe, it is ruined. When you scratch a service boot, you simply rub it with your thumb, the oils redistribute, and the scratch becomes part of the patina. These boots are supposed to look beaten up. The scars are not defects, they are stories. The lug sole. Turn the boot over. You should see deep rubber treads, often called a commando or mini lug sole. This provides maximum traction in snow, mud, and gravel. It raises your foot higher off the cold ground, providing better insulation. When and how to wear it. This is your off-duty uniform. The Steve McQueen vibe. This is the only boot that looks correct with a leather jacket, moto, or bomber. It balances the visual weight of the leather jacket perfectly. Raw denim and flannel. The service boot is the soulmate of raw, dark denim jeans. But here is the secret: the cuff. Because the boot has a higher shaft, usually 6 inches, and a thicker profile, you must roll the hem of your jeans up once or twice. You need to expose the laces and the top of the boot. If you let your jeans bunch up messily around the ankle, you look sloppy. A clean cuff signals intention. The field jacket. Pair these with a waxed cotton field jacket, like a barber, and a thick cable knit sweater. You look like a landowner checking his fences after a storm. It is rugged, capable, and timeless. What to avoid? Do not confuse the heritage service boot with the modern construction boot, the bright yellow ones. Those are for active construction sites. They are too bulky, too loud, and too juvenile for a man of your stature. We want boots that look like they could have been worn in 1945, not 2024. We want history, not neon safety gear. The pant break rule. We cannot finish without addressing the interface between the boot and the trouser. This is where the battle is won or lost. We call this the break. The break is the fold or creasing created when the fabric of your pant leg hits the top of your shoe. When wearing boots, the rules change. Because boots have a higher profile and a wider neck than standard shoes, your regular trousers will likely bunch up violently. This creates what I call accordion ankles, a messy, chaotic pile of fabric that pools around your ankles. This is a disaster. It breaks your vertical line, making you look shorter, dumpier, and sloppier. For boots, you must aim for a no break or a slight quarter break. The hem of your trousers should just barely kiss the top of the boot laces or the vamp. It should hang straight down without folding over itself. How do you achieve this? 2 ways. The tailor. Have specific winter trousers hemmed slightly shorter, about ½ an inch, to accommodate the height of the boot. The cuff. This is the easiest tactical fix. Simply roll the hem up. For jeans and chinos, a neat single 1.5-inch cuff frames the boot perfectly. It creates a visual separation between the pant and the leather. It shows intention. It says, "I know I am wearing boots, and I am giving them space to breathe." Never let your pants drag on the floor. That is for teenagers, not gentlemen. Gentlemen, we have completed the construction. We started with the baker boy hat, moved to the overcoat, refined the details with gloves and scarves, and today we secured the foundation with the boot trinity. You are no longer just dressed, you are fortified. You have dignity in your silhouette and traction in your step. Winter is unforgiving to the unprepared, but for you, it is simply a backdrop for your elegance. Stop slipping on the ice in sneakers. Lace up your wingtips, slide into your Chelseas, or strap on your service boots. Walk out that door not just with style, but with stability. The world looks different when you stand on solid ground. Subscribe for the next chapter of our evolution. Stay grounded.